This video will include a wet magnetic roller set. We're also going to add in some other components. We're going to be doing some pin curls along with this set, and we're going to be doing a pivot formation with our rollers. So first thing that I'd like for you to do is grab yourself a mannequin that, mine's even just a tad bit too long here, something more in the 4 to 5 inches is great. You will then need your supplies. You'll need your rollers. You'll need a tail comb. I had an extra comb here just for some detangling, which I've already done. I have my roller clips, and remember those roller clips are the ones with the hole. I also have pin curl clips for when we get to that portion. And then I have end papers in case I need them if I have some ends that are unruly. I also grabbed myself a little bit of product here. This one has a nice medium hold. I'm going to work a little bit of this through this. I know that you may not have a product to use, but I would suggest when working in the salon and doing magnetic rollers that you put some product in there that's going to give you some hold. Nothing too firm so that the hair gets sticky as you're trying to wrap it around the rollers. But again, something that's going to give you some control and some hold as it dries. So I'm just going to give myself a couple pumps here, and I'm going to work that into my hands first and then through the mid shaft and ends, and then bring it in towards the scalp. Don't want to lay my hands on the scalp initially. I don't want the abundance of product right at the scalp. So really work that through nice and even. All right, now I'm going to turn my mannequin around here, get rid of this extra product. I'm going to turn my mannequin around here, and we're going to begin just with that pivot. Okay, so when I'm looking at my mannequin, we're going to give her a side part right at the parietal ridge. And remember, when we're talking about what side, that we're always talking about our client's side. So we are going to create our part on the left-hand side, and the hair is going to pivot around to the right. Okay? Now, when you're placing a pivot, there are some rules that apply. When you're creating a section for your roller, we would use the diameter of the roller. But when you're doing a pivot, rather than the entire length of the roller, you're going to do 1.5 times the length. Okay, so we're going to start our first roller on that left-hand side part. There's 1 entire length, and here's a half. So our base is going to go 1.5 times the length. Now I'm going to be the diameter of the roller back here, and then I'm going to come right in to my point, okay, right on my part line, okay? So I have a triangular base section. Turn her around so you can see. I'm the diameter of the roller in the back, 1.5 times the length, and coming back to this point. Now we're going to pivot off of this point, okay? So finding that point every time I'm going to come off of that point, and that's what's going to bring us around in that circle. I'm going to hold this hair at 90 degrees. I'm going to bring myself an end paper in here to help control those ends. I'm going to slide on out. I'm going to wrap that hair around. And when this roller comes down, it's going to sit half on, half off of its base. And it's going to sit on the back side of the base. So you're going to see this little loop. See how that loops around up here in the front? Almost like it's falling off the roller. Okay, that's what's going to help make that point. Now, as I continue around, this line is going to curve. And we're just going to work on this pivot here. Pause the video at any time to work. I'm coming back to this point. Here's 1. Here's a half. So carve a little bit more out of there. Okay, I'm going to be the diameter of that roller, so coming right off that point, come all the way back to it, the diameter of the roller, direct that hair 90 degree so that our rollers sit half base. Bring in my roller and grab myself an end paper. Secure those ends. Lost an end here. I'm going to try that one more time. We're going to start that over. Sometimes that happens. That's okay. And you can see I have some ends that are some different lengths here. That's why I'm using that end paper to help direct that hair around the roller. Making sure that those ends are nice and smooth. Now, as these ends are beginning to drop out, I'm going to bring them around a little bit tighter. And when you're struggling like that, I need a spray bottle. I'm just going to find my spray bottle here. Should not be a struggle. We're going to try this again. Bring that roller in, bring that paper. Keep that hair nice and moist. I'm going to give it a little extra squirt here. That water kind of acts like glue, if you remember that from working through these pin curls here. Grabbing those ends all the way around. There we go. It's just got a little dry on me. See how it sits on the back side of its base? See that little loop there? Back to that point. Slide all the way back. Remember, I'm 1.5 times the length of my roller. Directing that hair 90 degree, and then over directing that front. So all of that hair sits on the back side. Going to use an end paper again. I only need one. Bring in my roller. If you're concerned about it drying out, add a little bit more water. This one's pretty wet here. Take those ends all the way around. 90 degree. Bring that all the way down on its base. That little loop that falls, that's okay. It's supposed to do that. All the way back to my point and out 1.5 times. See how I'm pivoting around here? What this is going to create is a half fringe. Bring my roller, end paper, clip on the back side, just one clip during this point. Bring that end right up and around. Isn't that pretty? It looks like petals of a flower.